Wow, Karl, you're looking a bit worse for wear over there.
Yeah, I was streaming last night. Yeah, I stream now. Yay!
How did it go?
We'll talk about it after this. Neal Flynn will likely spend the rest of his professional career being known as that guy from Scrubs, which is fair considering that he owned the role so hard, by the end of Scrubs he was basically given carte blanche to make up his own lines.
Hey, idiot. I said idiot and you looked.
So go on, what do you mean he made up most of his lines?
Well, due to Neal Flynn's background as an improvisational comedian, usually the shit he'd come up with about 2 seconds of thinking time was funnier than the stuff that was actually in the script. So it got to the point where the scriptwriters basically said, well, fuck it, if Neal's going to come up with a funnier line than we can write with no thinking time, why even bother? Just let Neal do whatever the fuck he wants.
I have broken the sound barrier, but you must never ask me how. I don't believe in the moon. I think it's just the back of the sun.
Hell of a good train wreck.
Is that why some of the stuff he comes out with just makes absolutely no sense?
Yeah, all those like surreal non sequiturs and random like observations that he makes were usually just Neal just basically bullshitting and waffling his way through after like basically responding to a line from another cast member and going, you know what, I'm just going to roll with this and make up something completely different to see what their reaction is and see if I can get them to like, you know, go off script too.
You have to give props to the rest of the cast for being able to keep up with him.
Yeah, and as well being able to keep a straight face with some of the stuff that he says. So if you can read in the script what the joke's going to be, you've kind of got like the ability to like, okay, I know what he's going to say, and I know how stupid it's going to sound, and I know like Neal in real life, I can maybe react to this. But when he's like coming out with some of the random bullshit he does in that show, and you don't expect it, the idea that they can hear that and go, and just avoid doing that, because that would be me. Because I'm terrible for like corpsing when we do these out. There must be like 5 minutes of footage you have to cut out of every video we do, because I just corpse the fuck up.
Somebody was asking me to subtitle you when you laugh talk.
Laugh talk, man. Like, hey, no. That'd destroy the integrity of the show. Also, people don't know, corpsing is like an industry term for when people like completely and utterly lose their shit and can't like, you know, do their lines.
Why is it called that?
I don't know. I think it's because obviously like you're killing the scene maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure the exact like origins of the term, but like corpsing is basically when you just laugh your tits off and they have to like call it. And what's your favourite example of that? Because there's loads of like behind the scenes outtakes of people like completely like corpsing the fuck up. Do you know what my favourite one is?
Which one?
The guy from The Chase, when they're talking about Fanny Schmeller.
Fanny Schmeller. So I just thought it goes with show jumping.
Oh God, yeah. Like, people don't know, Bradley Walsh from The Chase is like well known in the industry for basically like corpsing and laughing so hard that he ruins takes, to the point where, and I read an interview, I think we did another article on this that we're probably not going to do now, I'm going to mention it, but like the writers for The Chase started including questions specifically because they knew they'd make him laugh. And obviously the best example is the Fanny Schmeller one, where he ruined an entire like 5-minute segment and they had to put it in the show and it ended up being the most popular thing they ever did.
We're gonna make a rule now, never to say a name again.
I've seen a few of the ones after that. I think that was the first big
The Fanny Schmeller one is basically where he absolutely fucking loses it and they had to use the footage because they couldn't redo it. And they thought, fuck it, it's so fun, just put it in. And it's Bradley Walsh like, I'm not kidding, he looks like he's gonna die. Because he's like, you just see, he's like, is he gonna throw up? Is he going to die?
I always enjoy it when it happens on Countdown, because it's supposed to be such a nice, like obviously not Katz's Countdown,
yeah.
But the original one is so nice and calm and reserved, and then you get like the word fuck appearing on the thing.
Well, I think the best one is when Carol Vorderman loses her shit, and it's like she's just there really trying to regain her composure, and I think like Richard Whiteley is just absolutely fucking shitting his pants in the corner. Moving back to Neal Flynn, after his ability to improvise became apparent to the scriptwriters, they basically just stopped writing lines for him.
Did the director not care about that?
No, in fact, like the director of the show, Bill Lawrence, said like in an interview, I'm okay with Flynn just making up his own lines because if they're funnier than what I wrote, I'll just take credit for them anyway.
Have you ever looked at yourself and wished that you were different in every single way?
No. I'm a winner.
If they weren't writing any lines for the janitor, what does it say in the script when Neal's supposed to speak?
Well, and this is true in the script that everybody on set got. Whenever it came up like, what does the janitor say here? It would literally just say, Neal says something funny, or whatever Neal says. Because the writers knew that like anything he come up with would usually be funny in what they'd write. So like, fuck it, just give Neal free range, just go ham at this specific point in the scene. Like a level of trust that Neal, understandably, took full advantage of.
Thinking about it now, you and Neal sound like you'd be birds of a feather, Karl. Just going
What?
off on random tangents.
Just making shit up that's not supposed to be in the script. Yeah, but I would argue that Neal Flynn never went on like an 8-minute long tangent in the middle of an episode of Scrubs about the Air Bud cinematic universe.
Yeah, I think that's because he's more reserved than you, Karl.
Also, yeah, he doesn't drink as much when he's recording.
Have you been drinking?
I'm not drunk.
You say that about him not coming up with tangents though, but they might edit them out. What if he does that? What if every time he says a line, there's an 8-minute clip of him talking about something else?
You know what? In that case, I will get down and lick that guy's balls because you know what? I've just been nicking his shtick for the past year and a half, and I'm really sorry about that. The thing is though, like he used to be like an improv comedian. I think he still does it every now and again. I used to do that, so we've had the same career arc.
And you're both fairly tall.
Yeah, and awkward looking. Well, me and Neal Flynn got a lot in common. I didn't realise that until you mentioned it just then.
I'm thinking of making like a sitcom in this house, Karl. Would you like to be the janitor?
No. Why would you have a janitor in your house? This story is already falling apart. I'm going to make a sitcom in the house we live in. You could be the janitor. Not the cleaner or a guy who lives in the house, but the janitor. A word that doesn't exist in the British lexicon. For fuck's sake. This is why the BBC keep turning down your scripts, mate. Fuck's sake. Amateur hour bullshit.
So how much creative control did Neal actually have over the character of the janitor?
Almost complete, to the point where he had absolute authority to veto what the janitor's name was. Like for people who maybe not watched Scrubs, a running joke throughout the series that no one knows what the fuck the janitor is called. To the point where the name tag he wears in some scenes actually just has the word janitor written on it if you zoom right in.
What's my name?
I know the nurses call you Sir Plunge a lot.
I know.
In recognition of how much of the janitor's persona was Flynn's creation, Bill Lawrence gave the actor absolute authority to veto any suggestion they put forward for the janitor's actual name when it was revealed in the supposed series finale to Scrubs.
So for anyone who hasn't seen Scrubs, what was this name?
Well, the name they eventually settled on for the janitor was Glenn Matthews.
What is your name?
Glenn Matthews.
Why would you tell me now?
It's the first time you've asked.
And I guess the joke there is that a character who's so weird has such an ordinary sounding name, and then they continue the running gag of it maybe not being his name by having another character refer to him by another name almost immediately after he reveals this.
Hey, Tommy. What's up?
And as funny as that is, like, I'm kind of annoyed that Neal didn't go with, his first suggestion. Because do you know what name he suggested for the janitor during an interview shortly before, that season entered production?
What name?
Zanzibar Book McFate.
Oh, that's a much better name.
Because obviously he was being interviewed and someone asked him, so Neal, are we going to find out what the janitor's real name is during this season? He went, yeah, it's Zanzibar Book McFate, just off the cuff. And I'm like, that's a much better name. I want his character to be called that, and that's why he goes by the name Janitor, because he's so embarrassed by his name.
Now, I think if that was his name, he would never go by Janitor, because that name is too cool.
It's only cool, though, if you can own it. It's like, the thing is, we've all met that one person who doesn't live up to how cool their name is, and you feel like your parents wasted this on you.
Thing is, if you miss out the book bit and he was just called Zanzibar McFate,
that's a fucking name.
That's much more badass.
That's a fucking name, that, innit? Although I'm kind of annoyed that Neal didn't use his power of veto to insist that the janitor's real name be Zanzibar Book McFate, I guess I kind of had to give him props for staying in character during that interview, because making up a stupid name to annoy an interviewer sounds like something the janitor would do.
So Karl, you said you streamed yesterday.
Yeah, for the first time. It went really, really well. As you can tell by how fucking hungover I am.
And how much of it's rum, wasn't it? How much rum did you drink?
Half a bottle. Not like no pussy ass bottle. Like it's a big bottle, which I've now thrown away because I was disgusted when I woke up and looked at it.
Yeah, there wasn't just one bottle though, was there?
No, there was also the rum that you had left over that you brought downstairs and gave me, so thank you for that. So I woke up this morning, I looked over and went, oh, I guess I drank all that rum and the bottle was just like tilted over next to my Xbox, and I'm a fucking disgusting mess of a human being. I need to get rid of this. I don't want you to look at proof of how much of an asshole I am. Then I put on my Chewbacca dressing gown, like rolled my ass upstairs and started recording this video like the trooper that I am.
Yeah, professional.
I am the most professional. You can't say I'm not.
So what games did you stream?
I played Resident Evil 5. People are thinking, Karl, like Resident Evil 5 came out 10 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, but you've not seen me play Resident Evil 5. I am a fucking boss at Resident Evil 5, which didn't come across yesterday because I was so drunk, but I love that game. It's great. I had a lot of fun. I hope I can do it again sometime, but maybe the people watching this will join me the next time that I do.
Yeah, I don't think we've got any, there's no official date for it yet, is there?
No, because I'm just doing it whatever the fuck I feel like. And also I'm hungover now and I'm not coming up with any dates on the fly. I promise I won't mention this in every video, because I'd rather not the channel devolve into me going, come watch me on my second channel or this stream, because no one's coming here for that, I guess. But if you want to watch me play video games, yeah, I guess there'll be a link below. And I think you're going to update that title screen out that we do. We have all the nice slidey things underneath, don't we, where it says like, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Find the original article on factfiend.com.
I've recently changed the colour as well, so a bit of it's yellow, so it looks more interesting.
Just look a bit more interesting. Do you ever like get tempted to put like random bullshit down there? Just put I'm watching you sleep like Barbara or something like that. Just to see if anyone, because no one ever notices the description, do they?
I used to put jokes in the description.
And no one read them.
One guy kept finding them every time, and I was like, I have to stop now because he knows it's there.
So I know what everyone, when they do like the description, puts like, here's a link to all our sources. Those never get clicked on, do they? You could put a link to fucking anything
in between
there.
the sources, I once wrote, does anyone even read this? And I got a comment saying, yes, Brad. So I was like, all right, someone does.
So one person does. And
then on the next one, I put, are you still reading this? And they put, yes, Brad. I was like, fuck off.
Stop doing that. Stop communicating that one person, because that's going to end with you like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and stood over wearing your mother's clothes. That can never end well, so stop doing that.
Is that you from the comments? Yes, Brad.
You're on the toilet. It's like, Karl, is that you? Yes, Brad. It doesn't sound like you. Yes, Brad. It gets louder and louder and louder and louder. And the door kicks down, they're wearing like a Mr. Blobby mask.
Guys, look for the link for my new horror film coming out next year called Yes, Brad.
So yeah, if you want to watch me stream random bullshit, you can find a link to my Twitch in the bottom description below. Man, that makes me sound like a fucking YouTuber, doesn't it? You can tell we're getting close to 10,000 subs, can't you?
Yeah, and once Karl gets his Twitch going, he's also going to have his second YouTube channel to upload clips of his Twitch.
Yeah, that's going to get updated sporadically because I've got too much fucking shit to do at the moment. I've got a lot of personal projects to work on, so that'll be updated when I fucking feel like it. Don't yell at me if there isn't content on there.
Word of thumb for this channel is do not expect anything and it will eventually come.
Well, I think my favourite description is like two best friends play, where we promise nothing and deliver less. And they still get complaints about like inconsistent quality like 5 years later, even though that's the mantra of their entire channels. I feel like we should just steal that wholesale. Because like they steal a lot of their gimmicks from like Sean Baby and stuff, so we can steal theirs and we can just say, like, yeah, like the best friends, like we promise nothing and deliver less.